everyone. It is Lynn with Little for Nursery. I'm back again. And I am here with baby Olivia. She's my silicone baby. Just wanted to, I was just in the mood to see this little girl, and I wanted to show you guys a very, very cute outfit I got from Disney Store. They're having a big semi-annual sale right now. And look how adorable that is. It's this just like sort of bubble romper, if you will. It's got Minnie Mouse holding a figure of the cat under an umbrella, and it's raining. And it's just like a terry cloth material with like stripes, rainbow stripes. And it's one of these kinds of rompers that you really need a full body silicone, or you need to have like a white onesie underneath to cover up the cloth. But I thought this would look adorable on Olivia, so I want to try it on her. And I have a topic for you guys today too. And it was inspired by a post I saw on Facebook about, and I guess the topic is sort of dolly friendship gone wrong, or just a little bit of a general chat about friendships and relationships in the Reborn doll community. And especially given that I think a lot of the relationships we form a lot of them are started online. And there are some friends we've made in the community that are people that we've never met before. So let's talk about that whole dynamic, because I think it's really fascinating. While we chat, I'm going to change baby Olivia into this outfit, and I might do that first and then continue with my chat. But basically, you know, I think that, so I'll just start off by saying that one little fun factoid you guys might not know about me is I actually met my husband online. We were matched on eHarmony, and that's how we met. You know, we were both living here in Southern California at the time, and I, you know, I was new to the area, hadn't really met anyone that I clicked with, you know, on that front. And we've been married now over 11 years, and so this was a long time ago, okay? But basically, yeah, we were matched on eHarmony, and guys, I'm going to try to change her really quickly because some of my silicone baby videos, like the one with Maggie, have been getting flagged, so I'll try to change her rather quickly here, and then we can just chat. But anyway, I met my husband online, and I think part of when you meet someone online, there is always a period of time when, you know, before you've met them, that you're corresponding, you know, by email, or, you know, eHarmony had this like messaging app. So just, you know, you could exchange emails once you felt comfortable with the person and comfortable sharing your personal information. But until then, they encouraged you to message each other through the app. So, and then I think that when, you know, when we exchanged emails for like a couple weeks before we finally met up. But I do remember when we met for the first time, there's that like initial awkwardness of like, hey, is this person kind of like what I expected they would be like? And I think like for the most part, you know, yes, you know, he was what I expected, but at the same time, also there's some things that were like surprising too. Just like I had no idea what his voice sounded like, for example. And so when I met him, like I remembered the sound of his voice was kind of surprising, because we didn't talk on the phone before we met each other. I'm trying to think, did we talk on the phone? I don't think we did. I think we just decided to meet. And so yeah, so there will just be things that like, you know, surprise you about the person or are not really what you expect. But anyway, so I was thinking about this with like the doll show. So, and there's 2 doll shows coming up. There's the International Doll and Teddy Show, which by the time you guys see this video, that might already be over. Because right now I'm sort of on an every other day posting schedule. Just until I kind of get back in the groove and have a higher volume of videos to share with you guys. But, sorry, this last snap does not want to go. There we go. Okay. Oh my gosh, she looks adorable in this. This is so cute on her. Oh, this is perfect on her. Okay. It's kind of like baggy, so I just want to tug it a little bit. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. Hi, Olivia. Sorry for the slight detour here on my video topic, but I just have to sit here and admire her for a second because she's so stinking cute like this. Look at her. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna pick her up. Give her a little cuddle. Oh. Oh my gosh. So I was really like in the mood to take her out and see her because, oh, this is so cute on her. I love it. She looks good in a lot of clothes though. Because I was going through my old, like, some of my old photos and I saw some pictures of Audrey as a baby and it made me, it kind of tugged at my heart and like made me feel sort of nostalgic. And so I thought, you know, I'm going to take out one of her portrait babies and interact with her a little bit because, oh my gosh, she looks just, she's just so darling. I just love this sculpt. And some of you guys have asked me about where can you get this sculpt. She is a sold out limited edition, silicone edition by Andrea Arcello. She's from, I think, 2015, so she's a few years old now. But you can find this doll secondhand sometimes on DollFan or in silicone Facebook groups. So I actually got Olivia secondhand through DollFan, even though she is a portrait baby of Audrey as a baby. So, and Audrey's my daughter, for those of you guys who are new to my channel. So yeah, so she's a portrait of my daughter. But anyway, so I was thinking, okay, so back to my topic about relationships and online relationships, and I promise this all has a point. So I think when you actually then meet at like a doll show or actually get to meet someone, you know, I think there's always going to be like, oh, is this person like kind of what I expected or not? And I will say like, I think at the doll show last year, I was still so new to the Reborn community that there really weren't a lot of people that I had like, there really weren't really anyone that I can really think of that I felt like I'd formed like a I guess like a deep, you know, online friendship or anything like that, you know, going into that show. There was one YouTuber that I thought we had a pretty good rapport, you know, through like YouTube and Facebook, but then we met at the show and, you know, didn't really talk that much, and I guess it didn't really gel. But I mean, I was fine with her, but I guess, you know, she wasn't fine with me because I think after that she decided she didn't like me, and, you know, we didn't interact after that. So, and she has said negative things about me on her YouTube channel, which is always really disturbing. And, you know, and I was really, really bothered by it at first, but then, you know, I thought about it more, and like I mentioned in one of my other videos, I really think that when you see somebody being negative about someone else, it tends to reflect badly on them, you know, not the person that they're being negative about. Because at the end of the day, I'm just like who I am, and, you know, I'm a happy person, I'm a cheerful person, and I don't harbor any like ill will towards anyone, so including this individual. So it's fine. But, you know, but I think that, you know, going into this year's Rose Doll Show, I feel like the stakes are like higher somehow. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like there are a number of ladies that I have, you know, formed like dolly friendships with now, you know, some of whom I met at last year's show. And I think that's different because, you know, we'll just kind of pick up where we left off, and, you know, I met them, I like them, I know we get along. And then there are others that, you know, we've only corresponded online, and, you know, we've never met each other. So I think there are some ladies that I feel very confident that, like, hey, if we were to ever meet each other, I think we would just really click, really gel, really get along. There are others that I'm not 100% sure. I'm like, I think we would, but it's just so hard to say because at the end of the day, we're all just showing a very small side of ourselves on social media. And I think we all have to kind of recognize that it's a very sort of small snippet into someone's life. And, you know, I have a lot of interests and passions and things that you guys have no idea about. You know, that I don't choose to share on YouTube. So, and also, like, I'm also aware of this too, that like on my YouTube channel, I don't show my face. And so part of the reason for that, by the way, is like, you know, I have a very professional career. I'm in a career that's, you know, I'm in a sales career where, you know, I do meet with clients, and it's just something I'm a little bit more conservative about, I guess, in terms of showing myself on YouTube, because I just want to make sure that I'm maintaining a completely professional image at all times. So, just in the event that a client or somebody would, see me, I just don't want to, not that like, my channel is still relatively small, but I just think it'd be really awkward to, to be meeting with a prospective client. And then if they were to say, oh my gosh, aren't you that person who has that like YouTube channel about Reborn dolls? I would feel so awkward. I wouldn't even know how to respond to that. So, and my career is more important than this hobby. Okay. So let's just, that is it's important that I maintain professionalism there. So I know for some of you guys who are meeting me for the first time, it'll be, okay, well, what does she look like? And some of you guys can probably, there are probably a couple videos where I've like shown my face very briefly, or like from the doll show. Like if you were to go to like the doll show website and look at last year's photos, you can probably guess which one is me. There aren't that many Asian women at the show, so it's like me, Jenny Lee, and like maybe two other people. So, just looking at some of the photos, you could figure it out. So I do have my photos there on the doll show website. So, and that's fine. And obviously when I go to a show, like people are going to see me and, we're going to meet, and I am going to show my face, obviously. So, but yeah, part of me wonders like, oh, do people kind of have like a certain image of what I look like? And then when they meet me, if I don't really match their image, is it going to be weird for them? So, but then also vice versa. Some of you, I don't know what your faces look like. So I also kind of think like, oh, is it going to be weird when we finally meet? I don't know. So I'm probably rambling a little bit here, but I think a lot of you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. It's sort of that like that whole dynamic of having an online friendship. And I also think that it is really, one of the things that can be really awkward in the community or difficult is when there's like a certain level of like intimacy or like closeness that you feel like you have with somebody. And maybe, you're exchanging messages and there's like, there can be some lengthy messages. And I've had people comment to me, including this one friend on Facebook who said like, there's somebody who was, has basically been sending like really, really long messages and kind of like pouring out their heart, talking about their personal life and all this stuff. And I have had my share as well of, people, sending me very, very long emails, very, very long messages, long comments, really telling me like their life story. And I'm always cautious, in those situations because like, I'm cautious, like, hey, we don't know each other. So like for me, if there's something that like makes me feel not 100% comfortable, just because like, maybe you're new to the community or like, we just don't really know each other that well, I'm always like, I always try to be pleasant and friendly and, cordial in my response. But I also am not somebody who, I have such a busy life between my job and my family and my, my friends, that I don't have like a ton of time to, to be cultivating like a bunch of online friendships. That's just the truth. So even lately, I'm finding that I have less and less time to even watch YouTube and to make YouTube videos. And so for me, I need to find that right balance for myself, as I'm sure all of you guys do as well. So anyway, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And so if it feels like I'm not like reciprocating, or in the case of this particular individual, she had, I guess they had like a lot of lengthy conversations online, but she just wasn't feeling it. She wasn't feeling like she was gelling with the person. And then the person was sort of like wanting to know why she wasn't like being as responsive and stuff like that. It's tough, like in that situation. And I just kind of said, look, if you really, you should, this is your valuable time. And so if you don't feel like you want to invest in that particular friendship, it's okay, and I would respond, but maybe don't respond like the second that they send you a message, but maybe you can wait a day or two, and then when you respond, you can respond with a shorter note. And it doesn't have to be, and I think that people will kind of get the hint that like, hey, I'm not like wanting to communicate with you for hours every day, and I don't have that bandwidth to do that. So So yeah, and I think the other really interesting dynamic about being on YouTube is because we're the ones, those of us who are channel creators, we're making videos, we're sharing about our lives, we're talking. I think our viewers naturally, I think, feel like a closeness to us, because they've been watching our videos, maybe watching, some of you guys have been watching my channel from like the very beginning, which I know my channel hasn't been around for that long, but it's been over a year now. So some of you have been watching for a long time and probably feel like you know me, or know me quite a bit by now and feel like a level of comfort, a level of trust, which is awesome. But then, what's weird is like when I get the messages from you, but maybe you're not a channel creator, I don't have that same level of closeness going back the other direction, just because to me it's like a random person with a just a message. Like I don't, if I don't really know you, if you don't have a channel, and I haven't gotten to read like lots of your posts, for example, on Facebook or on Dolphin, it's harder for me to like feel like I know you as well, if that makes sense. And so it's almost like this weird one-sided dynamic sometimes. But I will say that like I feel like I have some very lovely viewers, and I've gotten very like really extreme. Like I think that the majority of the people in this community are just extremely sweet, really really nice. And then there are a few that are like maybe a little bit of an odd, a little off or a little odd. And then there's some that just maybe malicious or mean or just not very nice people. And I think we all have to kind of just keep that in mind. So keep your expectations in check too, so you don't set yourself up for a bunch of hurt and disappointment. Because until you really like get to meet the person and hang out and like really sort of get to know them for real, I don't want to say that it's not a real friendship, but I think you're really more like acquaintances, if that makes sense. And so for me, like, oh, and I will say, like, at that Southern California doll meetup that Inez from Don't Worry Baby Reborn Collective organized, it was so neat because I got to see Amanda and her husband Mauricio, like, got to see them again. I had met them at the doll show last year and we hung out a little bit, and so felt like kind of reuniting with an old friend a little bit. And then I got to meet Lucinda. I think I might have met her last year at the show as well, but I don't think we talked very much at the show. So that was cool. And finally got to meet Inez. All this time, we've been leaving each other comments on each other's videos, but I was like, oh, she's so cool. And like I knew I liked her from like meeting her on her channel, but after meeting in person, I was like, oh, I think we totally get along, and it was great. I really like enjoyed meeting her, and it was a good dynamic. So I was happy about that. But I remembered feeling like nervous going into that meetup, like, oh my gosh, what if she doesn't like me in person when we meet each other finally, and or vice versa? What if like it just doesn't gel, and then what if it's like weird on YouTube after that? But it wasn't. It was great, and I shouldn't have been so worried. So, but I feel like the doll show is, for me, it's kind of like that, but magnified, because there's going to be so many people there who I'm really excited to meet. But yeah, I'm just going to be so excited to meet a lot of you guys finally. So, anyway, I'm just been rambling, but I hope that this talk made a little bit of sense. And I definitely would love to hear like your thoughts as well, because I do think with the advent of social media, Facebook, YouTube, forums like Dolphin, it is so interesting. Just kind of like how relationships form. And I will say, one of the really interesting things for me when my cousin passed away was I had learned that he was extremely involved in this one like sort of political activist group. And he had like an online, username for that group, and he posted frequently, and he really got to know the people on that group. And so when he passed away, there was just this outpouring of love and sadness from the people of that group. And it really touched my heart, honestly, even though a lot of them may not have ever met him in person, but yeah, it just really touched me that, he had like that kind of impact, even in a virtual community. So it's not to say that the relationships or friendships are not real. It's just that they're in a certain dimension, if that makes sense. And so, And not that that's a bad thing at all, because I think some people, you may be dolly friends and never meet each other. Like, one of my dolly friends, who I adore, I just think she's just the sweetest. She lives in Germany. I don't know if we're ever going to meet each other, quite frankly, but she is just a sweetheart. And I feel like I would, click and would really, enjoy her in person. But even if not, like, I just know that, our interaction online, I've just really enjoyed it, and it's been lovely. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to end my video here. But isn't Miss Olivia so cute? I'm just going to pick her up one more time. Oh, thank you so much for listening to this long video. Let me just show her to you guys really quickly. She's so sweet. Such a cutie pie. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.